The devotion, life, ministry, and sacrificial death of Rabbi Yeshua, Jesus, seems absurd to Pat, so he has applied himself to wishing Yeshua away, and has no qualms about resorting to misrepresentation and character assassination to achieve his goal. Pat is Mossabism's venture capitalist with a gift for oratory. But how can a person throwing in his lot with Richard, anything but God, Dawkins, ever be taken seriously? Dawkins, a Darwinist poster boy, an all-round nutjob, is hardly reputable endorsement. He'd rather believe in Panspermia than in an intelligent creative God. Panspermia's proponents fail to explain the origin of alien organisms. And the idea that amino acids could arrive on Earth in, or on a comet, belongs to the confines of science fiction movies. Amino acids and organic compounds would simply be destroyed by heat during entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Besides, while Yahweh has revealed his desire to guide and to communicate with mankind by giving us prophets, signs, Torah, the nation of Israel, revelation, and the desire to worship, E.T. never phones home. Little things like facts don't concern Dawkins, so Pat makes the ideal bedfellow. Facts don't lend themselves well to shifting shoddy merchandise and attention whoring. Dawkins is happy to distribute Pat's drivel, making a tidy profit from old rope, while Pat gleefully receives his proceeds, no questions asked. So what nuggets of wisdom are offered by this sage of Mossabism? Well, brace yourself. In one video, Pat makes the startling revelation that the 12 disciples must have been Jesus' 12 boyfriends, because he spent so much time with them. Powerful stuff. Coming from Pat, a man who once worked as a lumberjack, choosing to spend long days in forests with nothing but men for company, wielding his chopper and working hard for wood, a God-hating liberal who enjoys the company of men, and finds satisfaction in portraying other men as closeted homosexuals, you'd think the opinion would be an authoritative one. But, surprisingly, it doesn't stand up to scrutiny. There are two reasons why Yeshua chose 12 male disciples. In the New Testament, the Greek word used for disciple is mathetes. Mathetes means a learner, a pupil. No first-century rabbis had female pupils. And we read in Matthew 19, verse 28, and Luke 22, verses 28 to 30, that each of the 12 disciples were selected to represent a prince of the 12 tribes of Israel. It was symbolic. Again, Pat exposes himself to be just another big mouth, having zero knowledge of the cultural and theological reasoning which governed Yeshua's ministry. Pat runs the gauntlet from skewed reasoning, to insult, to outright denial, even denying Jesus ever existed. No credible scholars in any field concur with Pat's claim, not even Dawkins, who now concedes that Jesus probably did exist, despite once labeling him a fictional character. And John Crossan, a man on the extreme radical fringe of liberal academia, concedes that Jesus' life and crucifixion are as certain as anything else in history. People rarely question the historicity of Plato, Socrates, Alexander the Great, and other figures from the distant past. But why not? There are no eyewitness accounts of Socrates' life other than those of Plato, yet even Plato's existence is questionable. And the nearest thing to a contemporary account of Alexander's life are the writings of Plutarch, but these were penned over 400 years after the death of Alexander. In comparison, the Synoptic Gospels contain numerous accounts by accepted historical figures, including Saul, and the disciples referred to by Josephus. And their accounts are exceptional among ancient texts for their chronological proximity to the events they record, being written as close to the events as 50 AD. If you have doubted the Bible's superiority over other historical documents, consider that many scholars rejected the historicity of Joseph Caiaphas until 1990, when his ossuary was discovered. And if you have doubted the credentials of the Gospel's authors, consider the verdict of world-renowned archaeologist and one-time skeptic, Sir William Mitchell Ramsay, who stated Luke should rank alongside the greatest historians of all time. So reliable is Luke's Gospel, that he even wrong-footed historians for centuries with his correct use of the word politarchus in reference to Thessalonican city officials. Strategoi and exaltius were thought to have been the only terms in use. However, 32 inscriptions have since been discovered, each dating from the 2nd century BC to the 3rd century AD. At least 5 inscriptions come directly from Thessalonica. Then there are the Bible's references, over 40, to the Hittite kingdom. The kingdom's very existence had been denied by skeptics until, in 1906, archaeologists discovered the Hittite capital and 10,000 tablets inscribed with the Hittite legal code. Time after time, the Bible proves to be a historical document of extraordinary integrity. The historical content of the Bible can be trusted on every other issue, so why would its depiction of Yeshua, Jesus, be any exception? Factoring in the references to Yeshua in at least 19 secular historical sources, and the compiled ancient Jewish writings found in the Talmud, we see why no scholar, since the now widely discredited Arthur has denied his historicity. The sources we have are repugnant in their opinions of Jesus, particularly the Talmud. Yet no source suggests that he had not existed. But because Pat's real problem has never been the historicity of Yeshua, he considers the truth to be no defense. His problem lies with Yeshua the man. He hates the concept of a sinless, altruistic, transcendent, immutable, eternal, and absolute moral authority. Evidently Pat's claims made by a man who, of his own admission, is uneducated, a man who demonstrates a dislike of facts and morality, can never be justification for consigning Jesus to history's room 101.